Over 24 hours after a toddler disappeared, police discovered her pink coat in the woods.
But before we start, please make sure to subscribe to Did You Know and hit the bell so you never miss an upload from us. Also, leave a like right now.
Police are hours into the desperate search for missing 2-year-old Gabriella Vital. The toddler vanished in a swampy stretch of woodland where she and her family were on vacation. And despite efforts to locate the vulnerable child, there's now no sign of her anywhere. However, just as the night is drawing in, concerns escalate when Gabriella's distinctive pink coat is found discarded in the wilderness. In July 2019, Gabriella was enjoying a camping trip with her family in some woods near Commons Township in Escata County, Michigan. The location offers visitors a taste of rural living, boasting an attractive range of lakes, rivers, and forests. In fact, Escata lies in the middle of the Huron National Forest, which offers fishing, hunting, walking, and camping opportunities. Gabriella and her relatives were visiting the area from their home near Monroe, Michigan, having spent several days camping together. However, on the morning of July 15th, the family were packing up their belongings, ready to leave their camping spot, but it was then that young Gabriella vanished when her relatives apparently lost track of her. With Gabriella nowhere to be seen, her family alerted police to her disappearance at roughly 8:15 a.m. Consequently, local deputies soon arrived on the scene, and the search for the toddler got underway. The investigation would later scale up to involve teams of volunteers, Michigan State Police troopers, DNR officers, MSP helicopters, and canine teams. Announcing the news of Gabriella's disappearance on Twitter that month, the Michigan State Police wrote, "MSP, the Escata County Sheriff's Office, and the DNR are mounting a search for 2-year-old Gabriella Vital. She wandered from her campsite on Reber Road west of M33 this morning and hasn't been seen since. Anyone with info should contact police ASAP." Then, in a follow-up tweet, Michigan State Police clarified a spelling mistake they had made in their previous announcement. It read, "Correction on her name spelling, Gabriella Rosalind Vital. Her family is from the Monroe area." Giving an update on the family's reaction to the girl's disappearance, the post said, "It's a very emotional situation for them and all who are searching for her." Meanwhile, alongside the Michigan State Police tweet were 2 images. One showed a picture of Gabriella wearing a life jacket and water wings. She's seen with shoulder-length curly brown hair and is seemingly caught mid-sentence in the sweet snap. The second image contained a statement from the Escata County Sheriff's Office, which described Gabriella's appearance at the time of her disappearance. A segment of the Escata County Sheriff's Office statement revealed in great detail the outfit that Gabriella was believed to be wearing when she went missing. It read, "She was last seen wearing a pink zip-up coat and pink bottoms. She's believed to be wearing tennis shoes and to have a gray shirt under the jacket." And it promised a recent photo will be forthcoming. Understandably, the cops were eager for any information regarding Gabriella's disappearance. As such, they asked anyone with details that might lead to the discovery of the missing child to contact the Escata Central Dispatch Center. Meanwhile, Michigan State Police also kept the public updated with the search for Gabriella via their Twitter account. Gabriella's family also turned to social media in a bid to raise awareness of the search for the toddler. One relative, Sandy Vital, urged the Facebook community to please be on the lookout for Gabby. In her heartfelt post, the worried family member said, "And everyone please keep praying to bring this baby back home. Please someone find her." For his part, Gabriella's father, Dominic, was seemingly not present on the camping trip, and he opened up about his daughter's disappearance in an interview with Michigan-based television station WNEM-TV. In it, he revealed that he had only learned that Gabriella was missing when a friend alerted him to a news story that detailed the development. And finding out that his daughter had vanished in this way surely only added to his shock. In July 2019, Dominic explained to WNEM-TV, "I got a message from my friend saying, 'Did you find your daughter?' I didn't know what she was talking about at first until I saw the link." Revealing his reaction to Gabriella's disappearance, he added, "When I saw the link, my heart just dropped. I didn't really know what to think. All I could think of was holding on to the hope that she's okay." Unfortunately, the first major discovery in Gabriella's disappearance did nothing to ease her family's worry. That's because a piece of the toddler's clothing was found several hundred yards from the spot where she went missing. But there was still no sign of the little girl. As such, the Michigan State Police reported the discovery on Twitter and updated the description of Gabriella's outfit, which they had shared previously. The tweet from the Michigan State Police was posted later on the same day that Gabriella disappeared. It read, Gabriella's pink jacket has been found several hundred yards southeast of where she went missing. That means she'll be in the gray shirt. Thanks to neighbors who are on the lookout. Call dispatch with info. If you find clothing, please don't touch it to keep your scent off. Michigan State Police Lieutenant Travis House reiterated this request in a statement obtained by 9 and 10 News. It said, "I know we have a lot of public out there that want to help, and we may get to that point, but right now we're asking people to stay out of the woods in this area because we have active canines working and we want to make sure the area is clean as possible when it comes to scent." Cops had warned people joining the search not to interfere with any potential evidence due to the use of sniffer dogs. In yet another tweet, Michigan State Police advised volunteers what to do if they came across an item that they believed was linked to Gabriella. It read, "The best thing to do if you find something is to note the location and back out. This will keep the area as fresh as possible for our canine helpers." The search for Gabriella continued then throughout the day, but as darkness descended over Escata County, there was still no sign of the toddler. As a result, it looked likely that the efforts to find the toddler would spill over into a second day. And while police had promised to search for Gabriella through the night, the thought of her wandering alone in the darkness worried some of those following the search on Twitter. A concerned post from one Twitter user read, "Really hoping to hear good news on this. I won't be able to sleep thinking of this little one out there tonight. Please keep us posted." Meanwhile, another person tweeted to say, "She's 2 years old. She couldn't have wandered that far. She probably sat down and cried herself to sleep. Hopefully she's found soon and in good health." Meanwhile, another woman couldn't help but worry about Gabriella as night fell, given that she had a child of a similar age. As a result, she imagined how her toddler would cope in the same position as Gabriella. "I was just checking to see for an update, hoping they found her. My 2-year-old is laying in bed, and I'm just thinking how scared he would be alone in the woods. And now it's dark too." The next update from Michigan State Police was posted to Twitter in the early hours of July 16th. It came in the form of a video, apparently taken at the search area. What's more, the clip showed a group of people wearing high-vis vests as they stood beside a large police truck. With that in mind, it seemed that the video featured cops and volunteers who were getting to work before dawn had even broken. The caption that accompanied the clip on Twitter read, "The amount of volunteer search and rescue teams who have reported to the command center is remarkable. Plans are being made for overnight and first thing in the morning. Keep Gabriella and her family in your thoughts as the search continues." And it wasn't just volunteers who were aiding the police in their search efforts. In a true display of community spirit, it emerged that one local fast food outlet had been keeping those involved in Gabriella's search fed and watered. A tweet from the Michigan State Police revealed, "The MSP Mobile Command Center has arrived and will become the incident command post. Thanks to the Mio McDonald's for all the food and drink they've provided to the search teams and staff." The search for Gabriella was largely confined to the woods she'd been camping in when she went missing. However, even with the efforts of volunteers, police, a helicopter, and sniffer dogs, 24 hours after the toddler was reported missing, there was still no sign of her. And in the end, none of those resources would prove to be successful in the search for the child. But that's not to say that there wasn't a happy ending for Gabriella and her family. Because approximately 27 hours after the toddler went missing, she turned up on the porch of a cabin. The property was a half-mile away from where she disappeared, and it was being used by an Escato retreat group who'd been following the search for Gabriella via the news. What's more, the Michigan Department of Natural Resources later revealed that the individuals using the cabin had assisted in the search for Gabriella. The department told the Detroit News the group of people that found her was a retreat group who had let law enforcement agents search their cabin's property for the missing girl on Monday night. As a result, when they spotted the little girl outside their cabin, the group were confident that it was indeed Gabriella. As a result, they alerted the Department of Natural Resources. And when Lieutenant Brandon Kieft, a conservation officer from the department, arrived on the scene, he knew that the search for the missing toddler was finally over. In a statement obtained by USA Today in July 2019, Brandon revealed Gabriella's joyous reaction to being found. The first responder said, "I asked her if she wanted to go see Mommy and she lit up. She came right to me and gave me a big hug." Brandon subsequently transferred Gabriella to the Natural Resources Station, where she was given a cookie and some water. Gabriella appeared at cabin missing her pants and footwear and only half her shirt. But nevertheless, the toddler had somehow escaped her overnight stint in the woods with just a few bruises and cuts. What's more, the child seemed to be in high spirits and hadn't suffered any obvious ill effects from her ordeal. Just to ensure Gabriella was indeed well, she was taken to the hospital for a checkup. Giving an update to WNEM TV, her father Dominic said, "Right now she's getting fluids and vitals, making sure everything's normal. She's a little distraught from not seeing her family for so long, for about 24 hours, but she's definitely accepting all the love. She wants hugs, she doesn't want to be let down, so she's doing good. Before arriving at the hospital, Gabriella had enjoyed a spirited reunion with her family at the Natural Resources Station. The search for the toddler had involved over 50 searchers, 10 dogs, and a helicopter. So, given the happy outcome, Gabriella's relieved mother, Alyssa Biaro, thanked the many agencies that had tried tirelessly to locate the missing toddler. In a statement obtained by the Detroit News in July 2019, Alyssa said, "We would like to express our thanks to God for keeping our sweet Gabriella safe." And while finding Gabriella alive and well after 27 hours in the wilderness meant that Alyssa's ordeal was over, she still asked people to keep her in her thoughts. She said, "Please continue to keep our family in your prayers as we hold Gabriella in our arms." Police later revealed that Gabriella had turned up at the cabin at around 11:30 a.m., just after they'd resumed their search for the toddler. The property was on the edge of the search area that officials have been focusing on. As such, Lieutenant Travis House confirmed that it was the next place they were due to look. However, he seemingly didn't expect Gabriella to have wandered so far. He told the Detroit Post, "She covered quite a bit of ground." The news that Gabriella had turned up safe and well was also celebrated on the Michigan State Police Twitter account. An update shared in the late afternoon of July 16, 2019, simply read, "Great news! Gabriella's been found alive. Details to follow when available." The tweet was soon followed by another post, which included an image of Gabriella enjoying a cookie and a drink of water. Apparently commenting on Gabriella's seemingly unfazed attitude, the accompanying caption from the Michigan State Police read, "What a trooper. The searchers are all clearing and the command center is packing up." And perhaps unsurprisingly, the update was celebrated on Twitter, attracting close to 450 likes and almost 100 retweets. Furthermore, the comments that the photo of Gabriella inspired seemed to capture the sense of relief those who'd followed the story experienced upon hearing her in safe hands. One user wrote, "She's never eaten a cookie that tasted so good. Outstanding job to all." Meanwhile, another user added, "Best news story of the year. She's a miracle. Hugs for the family." But while there was widespread happiness that Gabriella had been safely located, some mystery remained about her disappearance. Namely, those who'd searched for her seemed surprised that she'd emerged from her ordeal practically unscathed. As House later explained to the Detroit News, Gabriella seems relatively unfazed for a 2-year-old who's been in the woods overnight. In a separate statement given to WNEM TV, House confessed that those searching for Gabriella had been concerned for her safety. He said, "We were all very worried about her well-being, and for her to pop up relatively healthy and even in good spirits, we couldn't be happier." He continued reiterating that the toddler had still seemed to be in good spirits and relatively unfazed by the ordeal. The woods where Gabriella had gone missing could have posed a number of risks for the toddler. That's because they contain wetland areas and swamps. However, Gabriella did get lucky with the weather, which was unusually warm for northern Michigan at that time of year. With that in mind, overnight temperatures only dropped to 72 degrees rather than the average of 56 degrees Fahrenheit. So the warmer than normal weather certainly aided Gabriella, but the fact that she'd survived overnight in the woods and come to minimal harm was remarkable for a 2-year-old. However, we'd likely never know how she managed to keep safe. House explained to the Detroit News, "She's only 2 and not overly verbal, so exactly what she experienced might be a mystery." Those searching for Gabriella were just glad to have found her before she did come to any harm. And given her astonishingly young age, she deserves some credit for approaching the cabin where she was spotted by concerned adults. House told the Detroit News, "We're ecstatic she's been found. She certainly helped by finding a residence."